Hello, and welcome to another episode of Winning Where It Matters. My name is Kyei Amoako, and it's a pleasure to have you with me once again. I recently had one of those weeks, meetings upon meetings and deliverables upon deliverables coming from all sides. And by the time I got to Friday, I was pretty spent, pretty exhausted. And then I looked at my calendar. I had meetings upon meetings upon meetings throughout the day. And fact is, I put a lot of those meetings on my calendar. So I had a decision to make whether to push through and, you know, get out of the day exhausted or find a way to get out of those meetings. And then a thought dropped in my head asking if all those meetings on my calendar were important and urgent. Now, that idea of urgent and important comes from Stephen Covey. It's in his book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And that has come in handy in a few instances when I've had to think through how to prioritize my time. It comes from this idea that not everything that feels urgent is actually important, and not all important things are urgent. So I had to look at my calendar and think about that question. Is everything on my calendar for that Friday urgent and important? And that's how I thought through what I was going to do with my calendar. Now, take a minute to explain what he means by this urgent and important quadrant. So think about a grid. So it's a box split into four: quadrant one, quadrant two, quadrant three, quadrant four. And then on the side, you have importance and urgency. So quadrant one is important and urgent. Quadrant two, important, not urgent. Quadrant three, urgent, not important. And then quadrant four is not important, not urgent. Now, if you think about any decision, anything that you need to commit your time to, it would fit in one of these quadrants. So, quadrant one is like things that are urgent and important. So, it's an emergency, it's something that you need to deliver right away. Quadrant two are the things that are valuable, important, but you can take your time to get to it. So that's doing thoughtful work, thinking about things, having meetings with people, nurturing relationships. And that's where you get to do things at your own pace because it's important, but it's not urgent. So you're not rushing through things, or you're not being pressured to push through things. And then there's quadrant three, where it's not important, but it's urgent. And then quadrant four, not important, not urgent. So as I thought about my calendar, I had to consider the things that were on there. Some were important, but not urgent. And so those I moved to a future week. And the ones that were urgent and important, I attended to that. Now, the good news is nothing fell apart. I was able to handle my day with the things that I left on my calendar. The things that were moved to a future week, I was able to attend to them and life went on great. But the even better news was that I was able to do better work that week and not exhaust myself. I went out of the day feeling like I didn't burn myself out. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because you're going to have to deal with situations, whether at home or at work, that you may benefit from using this framework to assess whether you're spending your time and energy in the best ways to help you win where it matters. So, next time you have a decision to make or tasks to accomplish, people are asking you to do things, you're figuring out, you have a lot of things on your plate and you're figuring out what you should be spending your time and energy on, ask that question. Of all the things on your calendar, is this important? Is it urgent? And if something is important and urgent, absolutely address it. If it's important but it's not urgent, it's okay to schedule it and do it at a future date. If something is important and urgent, yes, take care of it. If it's important but not urgent, you can take your time to get to it. If it's urgent but not important, maybe somebody else should be doing that because it's urgent but it's not important. And so whoever it is important to may need to attend to that. And if it's something that's not important and not urgent, I think you know what to do with that. So as we wrap up, I want to remind you that not everything that feels urgent is important. And as a matter of fact, not everything that's important is urgent. If there's any way that I could help you with the things that you're trying to figure out, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. As always, I believe in you, and I hope you believe in yourself too. I'll see you on the next one.